After 10 years of working at Sony in video game development,
got laid off.
Yep.
Let's go.
So that's the big news, and we were waiting on one final piece of the puzzle to click into place before being able to tell you guys what was going on. John literally has like a little spreadsheet on his computer in front of us.
It's not a spreadsheet.
Kind of a document.
It's not a spreadsheet.
So we're gonna kind of fly through this and let you know what happened. And yeah, this is our life update.
So many aspects of this was like a house of cards, and God just threaded that needle, and it all came together, and every element of it worked out, and we're literally just kind of standing on the sidelines, just being like, with our jaws kind of hanging open, being like, did that really just happen?
Yeah, you know when you kind of pray and you're just like, God, if you could do this and this and this, and it's kind of just like almost wishful thinking. Literally, God answered every single one of those prayers to the point where we're like looking back and forth, like, is this really happening? So let's tell them what's happening.
Yeah. I've been an animator and working in visual effects and video games more recently over the past like 13 years. Down here in San Diego.
16.
16 is my whole career as an animator. Okay. But the first part of that was doing like visual effects
in Santa Clarita,
film and TV stuff. Yeah. It's fun work. Not so much a kind of a work culture that's conducive to family life. Is one way of putting it. Lots of challenges over the years in terms of schedule specifically. Yeah,
I was just going to say, in fact, when John was doing a ton of overtime when I was pregnant with Aiden is kind of when I started getting into YouTube as a viewer, because John was working so much overtime to the point where he would spend the night at work in order to get projects done and come home in like early morning. Anyway, it was really, really bad. But that's kind of, that's how I got into YouTube. So there's kind of a blessing there too. Like,
it's funny.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. And over the past years, I mean, I think we kind of got better at just putting some boundaries in place and being like, no, I can't do it. But it's just really hard. It was a challenging kind of atmosphere. Fun work, great people. But for the past couple of years, we've really been starting to think and pray about like, I think maybe it's time to try hopping the fence and switching careers and getting out of the industry. And
and God started putting it on your heart, like, to do like more music stuff. And
I mean, I've been leading worship for a long time. I've been writing music and recording and doing stuff, and we know what I knew what a lot of my interests were, but obviously switching gears to something more music related is easier said than done for a lot of people, and we weren't naive about that.
Until God shoves you out of your current job and says, go make your dreams come true, basically.
So we knew like the direction we wanted to go, music and stuff. So the past, I don't know, I've been leading worship at church for past like, 6 to 8 years or something at our old church.
Yeah, now old church.
We'll get to that in a second.
They said our last vlog was our new church, so.
Yeah, that's true. We talked about that. So we're at a new church, but we'll talk more about why in a second.
One commenter got it. I'm trying to remember the name, but she got it on the nose.
We would often have guest worship come in and lead and give us weeks off, and just developed relationships with other people who live in the area at kind of sister churches that are like-minded. And one of the guys who I got to be good friends with, we just, had very similar looks, similar takes on things. And so we just began a conversation about just ministry and worship and sound. And so at some point he kind of threw something on the table and was just like, hey, what do you think of this? And, would you want to come over to his church and, help them out with sound? And I was like, that sounds interesting. Let's talk about that. There were a lot of pieces that had to fall into place. We kept kind of saying that, but it sounded really cool. And
a huge one was we live in San Diego and we own a home.
It's
can
expensive.
we afford to do this?
Yeah, going from an entertainment-based job
and that kind of income to a church income
full-time
is very different.
Yeah. So how would that look and how would it work? And so, you know, over the course of time, we just started kind of, okay, well, can we refinance our house?
Should we sell?
Should we sell?
Like
you know, I mean, we were kind of everything was on the table, really, because, you know, we were like, we need something that's going to be better for our family and better as our kids are growing up and as we want to be involved in their education and just all of the goals that we have for our family. And even just for us to be able to continue to grow closer together and just, and so everything was fair game to discuss, you know, even relocating at different times we've talked about that. And
thought about Texas a couple times.
Yeah, this opportunity kind of came on the table, and as we pursued it, we started kind of thinking about how it could work logistically, and refinancing our house was one part of that.
Yeah,
And
we had to do that. Our loan was
it was kind of going to go bonkers in a couple of years.
Yeah, we pretty much have to short sell in 2 years.
The market here just hasn't recovered the rate at which we had hoped.
Yeah.
The other thing too, as we kind of looked at like, okay, some sort of transition's coming, but we don't know what it's going to be or going to look like. 6 months ago, we kind of got wind and kind of saw some handwriting on the wall that just things at my office were going to be changing. There's probably a restructure on the horizon
at Sony.
And we didn't know what that meant. We're like, wow, okay, if this all kind of hits the fan there, I wonder if the timing could work out such that I make a career change and am able to kind of exit when all this stuff goes down.
So that's when we started asking our friends to pray that John would be laid off, which is the weirdest prayer request to ask for. So like, wait, you mean you want to be laid off? We're like, yes. Severance, right? If that could happen right when he would be quitting his job anyway, that would literally be the most perfect thing.
Yeah, things came together with the new job such that we're like, okay, we're going to take this, we're going to pursue it, we're going to step out in faith. And, you know, I think it's the right thing for our family and it's going to be awesome. But then I would have to give notice. I'd have to give notice at work and leave because obviously you can't take a new job and be like, okay, I'll see you in like 3 or 4 months. Like,
yeah.
Like they needed me to start. And so, so we're just, you know, kind of wringing our hands a little bit with Sony, just wondering like, okay, when's this going down? Like, is this going to happen?
Yeah,
and
we were kind of like, this is not probably going to happen in the right amount of time. We just need to give an answer to church.
Yeah.
And so we were sure. We went forward saying yes
without
knowing
yeah.
if he was going to be laid off or not.
Yeah. And I actually was able to just go right in and ask and just be like, hey, you know, let me go. Like, put my name on the list. And
just let me go, Jack.
You know, it's been a fun ride, but you know, with other opportunities on the table, we're ready for, I think, a change. And
that was kind of a leap of faith too, because I mean, they really could have said you're fired and not paid you your severance. They could have just been like, you know what I mean? Because you're saying you're gonna go anyway. So there was definitely that part of us, but we just felt like with John's history at the work and what a great worker he was there, it's not like he's trying to be like schemy or anything. He was just genuinely being like, hey, this is where I'm at. You know, would you consider laying me off?
Well, and I mean, I didn't want to be presumptuous that I wasn't going to be let go anyways. But if I wasn't, then you know, if me, you know, being included in that layoff allowed somebody else to keep their job, then that was huge too. I mean, there's, you know, this has all come out positive for us, but there were a lot of folks that were affected. You know, that kind of got blindsided by it and weren't expecting to be out looking for work. So, you know, we didn't want to take that lightly at all.
His boss that he asked, he said, you are the kind of people we want working for us. You're a man of integrity. Basically, you're welcome back. Like glowing report. And yes, we will like honor your request to be laid off. So it was like, hallelujah. It's just like everything we could possibly ask for.
Yeah, and
having a big severance.
And having been there for 10 years, the severance wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So
incredible.
The other thing that was crazy about our refinance was that, with the appraisal came back a little bit lower than we'd hoped, to the point where we were actually, we weren't in a position loan to value wise to even be able to qualify for refinancing. And with the severance,
yay,
we were able to make that happen. We could pay down our existing loan to get everything to where it needed to be so that the refinance could go through. We thought the refi was going to fall through a couple different times, and even though it took 70 days.
Yeah, we needed to pay down our loan in order to afford it. And then now that it is paid down with the severance, we have a lower monthly payment.
Right.
Basically, I mean, literally every single thing. We could write like a whole list of things that God went, like John was saying, like threaded the needle. Just like, whoop, got that. And you know how you just have to trust God and be like, we're just yours, like do what you will, kind of. And
right.
He just blessed our socks off. Like I don't know.
But even
crazy.
But with the refinance too, I mean, like if we didn't refinance now, it's not like we could just wait a year and then like wait for the value to come up and then refinance then. I mean, like
you're at a new job.
Switching careers, a lender's not going to talk to you for a couple of years until you have that consistent job history within the same career. So and by then, kind of we'd be in trouble. So. It really was kind of a now or never. Like, if we don't refinance now, we're probably going to have to short sell and kind of, or sell and break even and just walk away from our house in a couple of years.
Yeah.
So.
But we get to keep our
house! And we get to afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's even better now, this new job with how much will be paid at the new job. It's so much closer. Like,
right. I mean, it's
so
like 6-7 miles down the road as opposed to like
40 minutes each way to Sony.
Yeah,
every day.
I was on the road about an hour and a half every single day.
Yeah.
So that's very different. I mean,
he could ride his bike if he wanted to.
Yeah.
On a nice day.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The benefits are actually better, believe it or not. I mean, like
amazing.
So there's a lot of things that are pretty incredible how they came together once. You kind of took a step back and looked at the whole picture.
Yeah, and there were just so many other factors with, your less gas and your, and the benefits being so much better that it just made the job so much easier. We were going to take it anyway, but God just worked everything out for our good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we couldn't talk about the new job until the refinance funded, which happened yesterday.
Yeah.
70-day escrow or something crazy like that.
Yeah, literally there were so many balls in the air. We were juggling, I don't know, is this really going to happen? Are all these things going to line up? And they did. They all clicked into place.
So what am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
What's the new job?
You saw him at the sound booth in our new church vlog.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm now the technical operations director at this church in San Diego. It's a full-time position, and
they made it for him.
They kind of
did
that yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
I get to kind of oversee the all the audio production of running sound for the services. They have 4 services on the weekend, lots of events. So get to run sound, training volunteers how to run sound, working with raising up people and just ministry, making a ministry out of that, and that's stuff that I've done before and just really enjoyed at our old church. And
he comes home from work now and is kind of glowing because he has friends at his work. Not that he didn't have friends at Sony, but the environment is just so much different. It's so encouraging to him.
It's a very different culture. Yeah,
his whole demeanor is different, and I just see the future for our family being so just amazing.
The other part of the job responsibility too is they had a guy that retired that was kind of overseeing some of their kind of office operations and some IT stuff. So I'm very tech savvy, but I'm not an IT professional. But I guess I am now. But so that's a little bit of a challenge in terms of having to kind of savvy up on the details of a lot of that.
I keep thinking of a pirate. You're savvy.
But our...
you only have one leg!
I don't know if they can see that.
He's bending with me. Anyway.
So much of this with regard to what happened at Sony and the restructure and things there, I mean, the world certainly does not revolve around us, but that's one of the things that we just believe is so cool about our God is just, He can take a bigger situation like that and just orchestrate some events to just individually bless us. And so, so, you know, we don't want to take that for granted.
Yeah. So thank you, Jesus, for laying John off.
Not everybody says that. Yeah, it's strange, but
I know, but it's so true. We're so thankful. I mean, literally every single thing that we prayed for. So that is the big elephant in our vlogs that has been very, very difficult for me not to talk about. There's been so much going on since everything's been going down, and we just didn't know if he was taking it, and then we did, but we hadn't told our church yet, and
then with the loan, like, we had to wait until the loan funded, just so that we weren't putting our refinance at risk.
Yeah.
You know, because of the job change. So.
Yeah, we were driving down to La Jolla yesterday, and at one of the stoplights, we saw
the notification pop up, and it was like, "Congratulations, your loan is funded."
We were just like, "Whoa!" We're both like tearing up. We're like, "Oh, it's over!"
It's just been such an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. You just kind of feel this release, and you're just like,
I know. Well, I'm going to feed this little one, but that is our big, big news. Thank you so much if you've been praying for us. Obviously, we highly, highly appreciate that. And John will be around a little bit more, too. So he's probably going to be in a few more vlogs and just a lot more part of our family. All right, we'll see you next time while they're napping. Thanks for all the support. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go.